Hi, tonight I'd like to talk to you about single coil pickups and their use in the metal guitar scene. Single coil pickups are so commonly dismissed by metalheads to this day, and to think that I honestly thought the can you play metal on a Strat debate had been settled since like the 90s. And it's honestly painful to a Strat head like myself. Of course, some of the reasons are obvious, like the fact that single coils may often have a rather weak bass response, or the fact that they sound too bright, because as we know, all the classic metal bands like Exodus, Judas Priest, Toxic, Death, and Pantera had such terribly bassy guitar tones. But sometimes people will come up with arguments like single coils are usually active, not passive. Yeah, and? First of all, there are definitely active single coil pickups out there that still somehow retain that classic single coil sound. Don't buy EMG single coils, I'm not talking about those. But also, please don't tell me you think that most metal guitarists use active pickups, cause I'll cry. Yes, classic metal players like Jeff Hanneman, Kerry King, Gary Holt, Zakk Wylde, and Randy Rhoads are prime examples for the use of active pickups in metal, but that does not mean they're in the majority. Here's a tweet from Mark Morton, one of two guitarists in Lamb of God, for instance, which I agree with, as would Michael Romeo, Nuno Bettencourt, Alex Skolnick, Michelangelo Baio, John Schaefer if he weren't in jail, Alexi Leo, and Chuck Schuldiner if they weren't dead. So let's call that one a draw, I suppose. But I digress. There are quite a few metal players who are known for using single coil pickups at least partially, and I've purposefully changed the phrasing of the age-old question, can you play metal on a Strat, to can you play metal with single coils, because the most common answer to can you play metal on a Strat is yes, Iron Maiden did. Yes, sure, they played Stratocasters, but they were humbucker equipped. That's not what people mean when they ask can you play metal on a Strat. What they mean when they ask that is this. The shape of the guitar is not relevant for the tone. You misunderstand the question. I remember watching a Stevie T video once, like years ago, where he pulls out like a black Strat with two humbuckers in it, and he goes like, oh yeah, when you just need that Strat sound, like, no.
When you just need that Strat sound, you know, you just need it.
But again, there are quite a few players known at least partially for using single coil pickups. For instance, Timo Tolkki of Stradivarius, who used a single coil equipped Strat on a few recordings. Opeth also used Strats on Heritage, I think. And I don't think I need to mention Yngwie Malmsteen, who, yes, used to make power metal for a period in his life. You cannot deny that. Of course, it's easier to achieve an appropriate metal tone using humbucker pickups, but life is not about easier. Music is not about easier. If you want easy like half the lazy metal musicians these days, then grab a Fishman Fluence equipped guitar, a 6505, a vintage 30 cab, and an SM57 and call it a night. So I'm here to quickly demonstrate that single coils can be the ideal pickup for metal music. Not even per se better than a humbucker pickup, but just more unique and really nice sounding, and you should be after unique if you want to somehow succeed. Personally, seeing as I'm clearly very fond of Marshall amps and the Strat and Marshall combo has been done to death like nothing else, I like to try and achieve a relatively unique metal tone using different pedal combinations. Excuse the mess, but I hate unplugging and lifting up my pedal board. This is my Yngwie Malmsteen signature overdrive, that's my Ibanez Mini TS9, and that's my Fender Compugilist compressor / distortion pedal. I also have two boutique fuzz pedals over there, and I like to sort of combine any of these five to achieve a relatively unique tone, because not all of these are necessarily conventional pedals. This one has been discontinued for years, I had this one built, this one's from a rather unknown brand too, and you can combine different pedals like this in different EQ settings to make your single coils the most amazing metal pickups you've ever heard. So I will now proceed to play for you some music. I'll stick to rhythm guitar as A, most people will associate metal with heavy rhythm playing rather than lead playing anyway, and B, because it's not news that single coils are fantastic for lead guitar in any genre. Even guitar manufacturers like Ormsby that are clearly geared more towards metal players have been known to use single coils for lead guitar in the neck position and humbuckers in the bridge. I'll be using two different pickups. One is this Bill Lawrence L500 rail humbucker. This is the essence of both Nuno Bettencourt and Dimebag Darrell. And one will be the bridge single coil of any one of my Strats that still has its stock pickups. I've switched out the pickups in a few of my Strats for these Fender noiseless stacked single coils, either hot noiseless or ultra noiseless, and I understand why that would not make a very compelling argument, as these are made to be very hot and high output, and also technically they're humbuckers. Also, for both of these I will be using the same amp settings, pedal settings, and mic positions. I will change nothing. Enjoy. So I'm not going to claim that this Strat sounded better. It did to me personally, but that's just a taste thing. This entire topic is based purely on taste, honestly. It's just that a lot of people have never even tried to use single coils for any sort of high gain applications, and that's quite sad, as they can deliver just that rough and sharp sound that you might want for metal rhythm guitar. So I hope this video has been somewhat eye-opening in that if you've never tried to use single coils for any sort of high gain tones, you might want to try after watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. You can watch my most recent video somewhere up here. You can subscribe somewhere down there if you feel like it. I'd be honored. All my social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are linked in the description. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you next week.